Well, welcome to the channel. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Gosford, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thanks you for coming in. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for the people that comment and like the videos and share them. We're at Proverbs 25, verse 16, psychology through theology. Let's go. If you find honey, eat just what you need. Too many of us find people that want to share a relationship with us, and at the start of the relationship, we overindulge. Excuse me. We do what's called gluttony by way of love and intimacy, or is it lust and intimacy? The difference between lust and love is, with lust, you use somebody for emotional and intimate supply. With love, you're sharing each other to build something in common, to stick together and build a bond. But if you find a partner, someone that has every possibility to be able to make a life with you and share a life with you, only take from that person as much as you need. Because in cases of addiction, drug addicts, alcoholics, dope addicts, medicine addicts, just like their addiction to the drugs and the alcohol and the medications and recreational drugs, they take too much from the person that they're with. Which leads us to the sex addict. The sex addict is someone that goes way above and beyond what is necessary for the relationship to build. They go beyond the building point to a dismantling stage where, by way of lust, by way of being deceived by lust, they start to dismantle the relationship by taking more emotional energy and power out of that person, possibly through stress, even through causing problems. Maybe you've borrowed money off your partner and you haven't paid it back. You've made promises to your partner and you haven't fulfilled them. Possibly there's unresolved. You've done too much. You've taken too much. You've taken too much patience. You've taken too much long suffering. You've worn the tolerance of your partner out. And you found the honey. The honey was dripping from the honeycomb. You were like a bear putting its hand in the honey jar and just bringing it to its mouth, an endless supply. But you possibly had too much. And this is like a child with a new toy. The child gets a new toy, loves it for the first week or so, and then you'll see the toy sitting in the back corner of the yard, all on its own. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4. And it's lest you have too much and vomit it up. The fad's worn off. This is what narcissism does to people. They find someone, oh, it's all honey. Look at my honey, let's eat each other's honey. All of a sudden, they've eaten more than what they've needed. They've had their fill. Then, after they've had their fill, they see that person differently because their motive was wrong. They haven't got the value. They didn't look through the eyes of character, they looked through the eyes of lust. And they had too much of each other. Have you ever heard the saying, I've had enough of you? When somebody's angry, I've had enough of you. I have. I've had enough of you, my mother used to say to me when I'd push her. But that's a classic example, like the toy in the backyard. too much. Lest you have too much and you vomit it up. In Luke 21:34, Jesus said, "But watch yourselves, or your hearts will be weighed down by dissipation, drunkenness, and the worries of life, and that day will spring upon you suddenly, like a snare." Again, it's funny how the cross-references to that passage align with these kind of statements. Ephesians 5:18, "Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to reckless indiscretion. Instead, be filled with the Holy Spirit." It's an overuse. It's an over-abuse. Proverbs 23:8, "You will vomit up what little you have eaten, and waste your pleasant words." You see, pleasant words are the predator side of the relationship. The vomiting up is the gluttony side of the relationship. That's what predators do. They glut themselves. Proverbs 26:27, "He who digs a pit will fall into it." For all good intention, you took too much honey. You dug a pit. You went too far, and you fell into it. And whoever rolls a stone, it will come back on him. You cannot approach a relationship pushing uphill, where it's all got to be pushed uphill, because you will wear out and it will all come back on you. That's just how it works. If you pretend to be something that you're not, and the situation comes back on you and you get exposed, guess what? You weren't what you said you were. By the time a person knows enough to reject evil and choose good, he will be eating curds and honey. This person took too long. They took too long to decide what the truth was about evil and what the truth was about good. They just took too long. And that was the result. Curds and honey. And then, finally, Proverbs 24:13 and 14. "Eat honey, my son, for it is good, and the honeycomb is sweet to your taste." That clearly shows us that yes, eating honey is good. Eating honey does you well, it nourishes you. But if you eat too much, like anything else, if you try and take too much, you'll vomit it up. That's just how life works. If you try and draw too much out of a person and they're not able to do it, they will vomit you up. They will want distance between you and them. You can't draw out of somebody something that they haven't got. You can't take from somebody more than what they have, because you're taking a part of that person that doesn't belong with you. You're robbing a part of that person from them. You have to stop. Stop. Verse 19, "And seldom set your foot in your neighbor's house, lest they grow weary of you and hate you." If you take too much of somebody's honey, they will grow weary of you and they'll dislike you. How do I know? I've done it. I've done it myself. I've seen it. I've had it happen to me as well. You just get fed up. Too much unresolved. Too much laziness. Too much drunkenness. Too much sickness. Too much stress. Too much wasted money. Too many demands. Too many moods. Too much sulking. Too much abuse. Too much honey. And you'll vomit it up. If you find honey, eat just what you need. lest you have too much and vomit it up. When you've found something good, regulate yourself in a way in which everything is in order. Everything you need and everything your person needs, your partner needs, for what is good for the both of you. Work in a way in which it's good for both of you. And you'll hold it down. It will become nourishment. When everything's working right, what you digest is used for power. The body accepts it. But if you try and eat too much, if you try and take on too much, it disagrees with us. We grow weary, the person that we're with is weary, we aren't regulating our relationship properly. Some things you need to back off from. I'm speaking to somebody right now. There's some things that you're asking your partner to do that just aren't possible. They've done enough. They've given enough. You're draining the life out of them and you're wondering why. They're slipping away. They're vomiting you up. They feel sick. They're sick and tired of you because you have wanted too much. And if you find, honey, eat just what you need. Lest if you have too much, you'll vomit it up. It's as simple as that. If you find honey, eat just what you need, lest you have too much and vomit it up. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.